I'm live. Let me know if the lighting is not it because I had the window. I had the window open, but the sun was shining in my eye. was shining in my eyes, and I couldn't see. So just let me know if the lighting is not the best. But anyway, this is a new series. Hello, everybody. This is a new series that I am starting on my channel where I go live and we talk about our game for the games of the day, our predictions for the games, based on what we think the players are going to do, teams are going to win. Um, it depends on if we go live before the games like we are today. And so then we'll give predictions for the games. If we do a post game, then obviously we'll give our reactions to the games. So yeah, this is exciting. So we'll wait a couple of minutes for a couple of people to join. But hello to everybody who's going to join. And hello to everybody who's watching this on playback on YouTube. Appreciate you. And I just want to say before we get started, did anybody watch the Grizzlies versus the Pelicans game the other day? Because that game had so many highlights. Like, you know how I make, okay, well, if you don't know, once a week, I make my 5 favorite highlights from the week. And I'm not going to lie, that game had like 10 highlights. So I may have to make a separate video, spoiler alert, of just highlights from that game and then also do the highlights of the week because, yeah, that game was crazy. That game was crazy. So let's get into my predictions. So the first game, I have my little notes here. The first game we have are the Nets versus the Blazers. Honestly, in my opinion, I think the Blazers are going to win. I mean, I don't know if that's such a big what do you want to call it, going out on a limb so far? Like, I don't even think that made sense. Whatever. I don't think that's such a bold prediction. That's a better word. But I think the Blazers are going to win. They might blow them out because, yeah, the Nets, it's looking kind of crazy there. I don't like to talk about drama on this channel. I like to talk about, other things because there's always so many positive things going on in the NBA, despite the drama that happens that doesn't get talked about. But I just will quickly talk about the Kevin Durant thing since it is everywhere. Listen. Listen. All right. I understand Kevin Durant saying, being a superstar, sometimes they get unfairly criticized and they get expectations put on them that are unfair. Like, that does happen. So I understand, that whole scenario. And then with his quote when he was talking about the starting 5, I think that's what he was trying to say, basically. He was trying to go off that, of being like, oh, that's unfair expectations on me. But if he meant that, it didn't come off that way. It came off as if he was throwing shade at his teammates. And again, whether or not that was his intention, I'm not saying it was his intention. But it came off that way, and it's not the best look because if I'm Nick Claxton, who's playing the best basketball of his career right now, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I improved a lot. So what? And then also, Edmund Sumner's been really good. Sumner. He's coming off, they have an ACL tear. He's coming off some kind of big injury that I think it was ACL. So you got that. Seth Curry's coming back from, I think he had ankle surgery also, but an ankle injury. So he's getting back to rotation. Royce O'Neal has been good. So I don't know. I'm not going to speak too much on it, but I'm just going to say that was not the best thing for Kevin Durant to say, in my opinion. He could say whatever he wants. Obviously, he doesn't have to care what any of us think. That is, his choice. And again, I'm not saying it was his intention to throw his teammates under the bus, but it didn't sound the best. I know he may not have meant it that way, but it didn't sound the best what he said. Anyway, back to my predictions. So I think the Blazers are going to win. I think you're going to see Anthony Simons have a really big game. Expect him to have 25 to 30 points, 6 to 7 threes, and maybe shooting 6 for 9 from 3 or 6 for 8 from 3. I expect him to have an efficient big game. I also expect a pretty good game from Jeremy Grant. I'm looking at my notes. I also expect a good game from Jeremy Grant. I'm expecting 20 and 8, 20 points, 8 rebounds, something like that. I expect Dame to have a mild game. Not that he's going to play bad, but he's just going to be mild. He'll get his points because he always gets his points, but I don't see a 40-point game. I don't see him getting a 40-point game, to be honest. So Yeah, I expect Dame to just have like a normal game today. But again, Anthony Simons, I expect him to have a big game tonight. And then Jeremy Grant, I expect to have a good game. Now to the Nets side, I expect Seth Curry to have a good game because he was once a Blazer, if you remember. And players love to play against their former teams. So I expect him to have like 15, 17 points, like make three threes. Like I expect him to be good. And then KD, just, KD does KD things. Again, though, like I said, I don't think the Nets are gonna win. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Blazers tonight. And that's how I think it's gonna pan out. Also, comment in the little chat section and also in the comments down below after when you're watching this video, if you're watching it after it's live, to comment and just let me know your predictions if you agree with me, disagree with me, and that kind of stuff. But also comment in the chat while we're live your predictions and opinions also. So anyway, now on to the next game. We got the Spurs versus the Kings. I'm kind of torn on this game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm torn on this game because Keegan Murray might be out. I have to check after this if he's actually gonna be out. He might be out. Regardless, the Kings just put on a clinic against the Nets. 153 points. Yikes. But I don't know. I just like the Spurs just like get these sneaky wins. And for some reason, I just feel like the Spurs are going to win the game tonight. I don't know why, but I just feel like they are. So I'm gonna go with the Spurs tonight. But like I wouldn't be surprised if the Kings won, but I'm just feeling Spurs for some reason. And then I expect Jakob Pertl to have a good game, a double double from him, like a decent game. I also expect Sabonis to play well. Like I expect a nice big versus big matchup, if you want to call it that. So I expect both of them to play well. Keldon Johnson always does his thing. But yeah, I just think the Spurs are just going to rally and somehow pull out this win. So that's what I expect from that game. And then the last game of the night, which is Pistons Clippers. Now, now there are there are a bunch of injuries on this game. So you got Cade's out, Isaiah Stewart's out, Paul George is questionable. I'm not sure if he's going to play. And I saw a notification that Kawhi actually might play. So we might see a Kawhi sighting tonight. So that actually kind of, because when I was making these notes, I thought Kawhi was definitely out. So it kind of changed my opinion, although I had the Clippers winning anyway. But it kind of changes how I think the game might go if Kawhi is there. Because if Kawhi is out, I thought that what's his name? Reggie Jackson was gonna have like a huge game because it's been a while since Reggie Jackson has had a big game. And if Paul George is out, it's takeover, like Reggie Jackson takeover time. So that's what I thought was gonna happen. So if Kawhi is there, I still expect Reggie Jackson to play well. I don't know if he's gonna have like this monster game though if Kawhi is there, because I feel like when Kawhi is there, it's just like a different dynamic. So that is to be determined. If Kawhi's not there, I expect Reggie to have a big game. If Kawhi is there, I expect him to play well, but not a monster game. How many minutes Kawhi will play, I don't know. I also don't. It's hard to predict what Kawhi will do. It's very hard to predict what he will do. Like seriously, I'm thrown off that he's playing or possibly playing. So that's that. Like I said, I think the Clippers are going to win though because even though they are technically the better team, even at full strength, um, I just feel like the Clippers. There's some matchups like in the NBA where you just like before the game starts, just like you feel like the other or you. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like instincts where it's like that team for some reason owns that team. It's not even always that that team is always the better team. It's just like the matchup. Like for example, for the Grizzlies Mavericks matchup. Last year, they like blew them off the Mavericks blew the Grizzlies off the floor in the regular season by like 40 points, like a ridiculous amount of points, 30, 40 points. And they had the matchup earlier this year too. And I was like, the Mavericks are going to blow them out again. I was like, I don't know why, but they just are. Like for some reason, it's not a good matchup for the Grizzlies. And they blew them out again. So that's what I'm talking about. Like sometimes it's just like, it has something to do with being a better team or a worse team. Sometimes just the matchup is not good. For some reason, I feel like the Clippers, I don't know what the statistics are on this. For some reason, I feel like the Clippers own the Pistons matchup. I don't know if that's true, but it just feels like it. Um, So I think Clippers are going to win, regardless of if Kawhi plays or not. Um, what was I going to say? I think it could be a blowout for the Clippers, possibly, to be determined. On the Pistons side, I expect to see a big game from Marvin Bagley. Last year, I think it was last year, every time he played, he seemed to put up like, I don't know, every time he played, he was putting up like 15 and 10, 20 and 10. Like he was playing really well for the Pistons. And he kind of fell out of the rotation. And now Isaiah Stewart is hurt. So I expect him to play a lot of minutes tonight. Actually, I don't even know if Isaiah Stewart is hurt. I need to look, I need to verify that. He's out though for sure. I'm not sure if it's an injury or what it is, but I know he's out. Um, but I expect Marvin Bagley to have a big game. I expect him to have a big game if he's going to get the minutes that I think he will. And so maybe expect 16 and 10 from him tonight. Jaden Ivey always does his thing. So I expect that to happen as well. Um, and yeah, those are the matchups for tonight. So let me know in the comments, in the chat section, what your predictions are for tonight's matchups. He has a right big toe sprain. Okay, that's what it is. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so his toe is sprained. Isaiah Stewart. Someone in the comments said that. Appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, he is injured. So again, I expect Bagley to have a big game or a decent game. And yeah, we don't have too many games last night. Actually, 3 games, a small amount of games for what, we expect to see like 10 games a night. So it's kind of interesting that there's only 3 games tonight. Um, yeah, those are the 3 games. And I'll have to double check, like I said, if Keegan Murray is definitely out or not. I'm not sure yet. To be determined on Kawhi, of course, because we haven't, you never know with Kawhi. And then I don't think the Blazers have any injuries. I don't think the Nets have any injuries. Like Seth Curry's definitely playing. Maurice O'Neal's playing. Claxton's playing. Claxton's playing, right? Yeah, Claxton's playing. I think Ben Simmons is playing. I'm pretty sure he's playing as well. And then for the Spurs Kings game, I don't think the Spurs have. No, Zach Collins is not playing for the Spurs. Katie, yeah, I spoke about that early in the video about Katie's comments, and it wasn't the best look. It was not the best look for Katie. But again, he's entitled to his opinion, and he can say whatever he wants. And I don't think his intention was to bring down his teammates. I don't think he was trying to be rude to them, but it didn't come across in the nicest way, even if that wasn't his intentions. So, yeah. Also, I think the last thing I wanted to say about the Pistons Clippers game is I want to say I think it's going to be a low scoring game, but that was also when I thought Kawhi would be out. So again, he changes everything. But I still think it's going to be a lower scoring game because there are a bunch of injuries, and I just feel like it's kind of going to be one of those games where it's like neither team is going to shoot well from the floor, at least for a portion of the game. And it's kind of going to be like who wants it more, who ends up like getting all the loose balls. And I don't know why, but I feel like it could be like a high 90s, low, like, I don't know. I'm seeing something between like 95 and like 110 points for both teams. Obviously not combined, but but between the both of them, like both having like 95, 98 or 110 to 95. Like, I don't know. I'm just seeing that. So, those are my predictions for tonight's games. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys like this series. And yeah, so if you like the series, let me know in the comments down below, talking about our predictions for the upcoming games of the night. And thank you so much for joining, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye! How do I end this? I don't even know how to end. Oh, there is end stream. Can you tell I've never been live before?